What's up, everybody? JR Raymond here with the LTC Bowling Show, and today do things a little bit different. We're going to take a look at those first two games that I posted the other day. Posted a video the other day of the regional this weekend. Showed the first two games of the Cashers round the next day, and I didn't do any commentary through there. I didn't really tell you what was going on. I just kind of let you watch it. Just made some video and let you watch the shots. Shot after shot all the way through the first two games. And I wanted to see what some of the comments would be, if people would pick up on some of the changes, on some of the ball changes and stuff like that. And there were some good comments in there. So we're going to go back through and we're going to narrate through those two games. And I'm going to kind of tell you where my head was at, what I was doing, and why I was doing some of the things we were doing. And maybe we can learn a little bit from it. And this also helps me a little bit to be able to go back through. And it's like studying tape, like in the NFL where they study the other teams and they study how you did and how you performed in certain executed plays. Kind of the same thing. I'm going to go back and study my own game a little bit through here. So stick around and I will get through there in a minute. Stay tuned. All right, welcome back. So we're going to take a look at these few games once I can pull it up here. There we go. So here we are. All right, welcome back. So we're going to take a look at these first couple of games here, and we are going to kind of dissect it a little bit. And here, we're starting game one. Got a Omega Crux in my hand that I actually just changed the surface on. Billy Sullivan was with me this weekend, so we did some surface adjustments to some bowling balls for the next day because my look on the fresh wasn't great the day before, so we tried to make some changes a little bit here. This is fun. This is always how you want to start your day, right here. But the good thing about this, I just got my hand around it just a pinch. I didn't roll it forward enough. I didn't throw any spares in practice. That was stupid. I made a mistake there. I should have at least shot at one corner pin during practice time, and I didn't, and I paid the price for it. So we start out with an open frame, but we regroup pretty well. Still with that Omega Crux, even though I threw that first one okay. It was a little flat off my hand. Didn't quite get my hand around it. This one I did a pretty good job getting through it. And so you can see we're playing straighter angles here and getting trying to break the lanes down just a little bit and get as good an angle as we possibly can. And I put up like a 3 or 4 bagger here after a really bad start, but you'll notice some difficulty in certain spots. That one I got a little bit right. Balance wasn't very good, but definitely got through the pins the proper way. You got Ronnie Russell over here throwing the exact same ball. The Omega Crux over there as well. His was a little bit shinier. Mine ended up being at 3,000. We took it down with the diamond discs and then took it all the way back up to 3,000 and left it somewhat dull. So we got 9 out, double working. The other kid's bowling pretty good, but it's not match play, so it doesn't matter. It's just total pins throughout 8 games. And again, basically identical to the last shot. The problem is I'm not comfortable. Like I wasn't comfortable yet. It took me a couple of games to get my feet under me and to be able to start posting shots. I did throw some shots in this game really well, but most of them were that was a pretty good one there. Most of them were off balance, and I don't know why. Sometimes if I don't see something specific, my physical game kind of starts to get a little lackluster, and I'm not a fan of that. I don't know why it happens, but you'll notice when I get into game 3 and 4, when I really make a different ball change and stuff, you'll notice that I get comfortable and my balance gets better. All of a sudden I start making better shots and bowling better games. So pretty crazy to see the difference when you have a okay ball reaction versus a really good ball reaction. I don't remember I think I 2-pin here. I think I whiffed this one a little bit to the right, missed it at the bottom. I just got it off my hand a little bit quick, and it just 2 pins. And didn't quite roll it, that's okay, not a big deal. Got 9 spare up there, as long as I don't miss it like the 10-pin did. But working on a decent game and trying to the thought process here is just thinking, okay, it's game 1. I got 8 games to make a move from 9th to at least 4th. We'll see what happens. At this point, I was 60 pins back of the top 4. And that one, I catch a really big break here. Again, basically did the exact same thing. Miss it at the bottom, fling it to the right, and somehow it crumbles over the bucket and for a strike there. And I take advantage of it these next couple of shots because I throw these next few pretty dang good after a good break there. And that's kind of what you're expecting to do. Catch a good break, you want to really make sure your next shot, see that one I really stuck. That one I really stayed at the line and did the right thing. So you want to take advantage of those good breaks. You catch those good breaks, you want to make sure you come back the next couple of frames and put a few good shots together, and hopefully you can kind of parlay a couple of doubles up there. Now when I got a little bit right, but just kept my balance and I stayed through it, so it was still good. It still read the middle of the lane properly. It's good. Well, this one was a little frustrating. If you really pay attention, you'll notice, I think it's the 7-pin or something that blocks a rolling pin from taking out the 4-pin here, because I 4-9 on this shot in the 10th. And something blocks the pin from coming around and hitting it. See, so it hits that other pin. I'm laughing it off because I'm like, wow, that's actually a really bad break. Not so much leaving the 4-9, but that pin was rolling at the 4-pin and doesn't take it out. Like, that's crazy to me. That's any other time somehow that pin isn't. Any other time somehow that gets taken out. But so now I gotta, I've got 220 out there. I gotta make this to get to 230. So the good thing it wasn't match play with bonus pins because I'd have to make this to win the match. But it's crazy to me that stuff like that, like, and there's, in the next game, there's a couple of weird hits that I'm just like, what in the world was that? But there was some weird carry, some different bounces, all kinds of different stuff going on here. But this is a nice center. This is EJ Tackett, Zach Tackett, his dad, and their center, their family's center. Take pretty good care of it. They just had the center for a couple of years now, moved from the Huntington area, Fort Wayne area, down over here. So, not too bad. Stick the first one pretty good. A little bit tighter lane. Now, this is where the trouble comes in. On this pair, you saw, all we're doing is moving one right. Brent Boho was on this pair, and he was using that fast pitch the entire time. So he used the fast pitch basically all of practice and then all of the first game. So this pair was just had some little squiggle, little wiggle, little weird spots. And I thought that was pretty good there. But it didn't quite want to, and that was off of a little bit of a move off of how light the last one came in. So I make a small move and it overhooks. So now at this point you're like, urethane's kind of, did it really change the lane that much? I'm not really sure at this point, So I'm like, all right, well, let's just kind of get up here, make as good a shot as we can, and figure it out. If this one hangs a little bit, then maybe it's just the right lane's tighter, and the left lane's fine. Who knows? So I get that one dead left off my hand. Not a good shot. And that's another one of those weird hits. It's like I just almost have left a 3, 6, 7, 9, 10. End up just leaving the 3, 7, 10. Didn't quite get that one far enough right. Just got the 3, 10 out of it. But that's okay. So now we're really having to regroup here. Really got to put something together in order to move. So we make a ball change to that arrow, which is a smoother, straighter ball. And it looked great there. I got that one in a pinch. And you'll notice the next few shots I do the same thing. I'm like, and I start to get a little bit frustrated because it's just not going in the exact direction that I want. I want it to be a little bit further right, so I can take advantage of that hold and not keep using the hold. So in this shot, I think I really jam up in there, get it going up the lane, and it barely holds its line. Almost 9 pins. But we catch a double, so pretty good ball change there. You can see the motion gets better. It's not over-under. It's nice and smooth. And then this one, you'll see a little bit of frustration come out. Get it right. Like, what are you doing? Stop jamming it in the middle. Throw it to the right. And that's pretty much what I'm telling myself. It's like, dude, that's 3 shots you basically threw identical. And that third one was just even a pinch further left than the last 2. Like, how do you keep pinching it left like that? That's ridiculous. Knock it off. So then this one, we make sure we get this one to the right. We got her going over there this time. And it's still hooked. Switch the strike, so we're in good shape. So now I'm telling myself, I'm like, look, that's all you got to do. Like, just get it to the right. And now we get up over here on the left lane. And it does that one overhook thing again. I'm like, oh, okay, good shot. Got it to the right. Holy moly, it overhooked. So I'm like, what in the world was that? So at this point, I'm like, I don't know what to do. I can't move left with this ball because it won't make the corner. It won't do what I need it to do. It's not going to be the right shape going through the pins. I have no chance of carrying. And at this point now, I've got 2-0 at best. So I switch over to the Proof Pearl, which gave me the best look yesterday. But I never really tried it on the fresh, and I wish I would have. I wish I'd have used it on the fresh, because come to find out later, once we get to the step ladder, I did use this ball on the fresh, and it still looked good, so I should have started with it. But now I move about 5 left, move a zone left, and get into that 15, 16 range with the arrows. Not throwing it dead right, giving you a little bit of push, a little bit of hang in the middle, and there's still plenty of hook to the right. So now I'm just using it all, and now I'm actually in the right part of the lane. It looks pretty good. I was in the right part of the lane before, but I think the urethane kind of made just transition the lanes just a little bit, and that made it a little bit squirrely there. And like the next game, Ronnie and Joe Bailey bowl on this pair, and they bowl like, I think high on the pair ends up being 170. So I throw a 4-bagger here. I got that one right, and again, thumbs up for that one. And again, it crumbles that bucket. I get a really good break there. Ended up getting that double there and needing another strike here to get to 2-0. And so in this one I label. This one is pretty perfect off the hand. Right into the lane, good balance. Bang. 10 back. I like it. So if I could throw every shot like that, we'd be in good shape. But I can't. So we switch to the melee blood red, and we give this one a look after that. And I just want to see what happens. It should be a little bit stronger down lane than that proof pearl. But remember what I said, that every ball is going to be a little bit different depending on what you're bowling on. And you watch, it just blends throughout the strikes. But I'm like, yeah, I'm not so excited about that, So, but that's kind of where we were at game 2. So I bail out 2-0 after bowling 220 with a hole in the 10th. And at this point, leading into the next couple of games, I'm like, okay, my ball reaction got better. Now I've got this ball in my hand that I really enjoy throwing, and you'll notice in the next couple of games, which we'll talk about here soon, that my balance gets better. All of a sudden, I'm making great shots, a lot more often than what I did in those 2 games. And what I wanted to talk about with that blood red is you'll notice how much blendy it was. If you go back and you watch the review, that blood red was actually quicker down lane than what the proof pearl was. So we got to try to pay attention to what the lanes are giving us. So just because it's quicker at one place, it's a little bit stronger down lane that one place, that doesn't mean it's going to be here. This was proof. That blood red was a little bit smoother and a little bit earlier than that proof pearl. So that kind of goes to show that what I said was true. Just pay attention to what a bowling ball is doing where you're at. That's why during practice sessions and stuff, don't just assume you know what a bowling ball is going to do. Throw them all. Throw every ball you brought in, and even every ball that's in your bag, in the trunk of your car or whatever. Throw them all so you kind of get an understanding. Because that ball that you thought, I don't think that one really has a chance because we're bowling on whatever feet, and this ball's not good on those patterns typically. Doesn't matter. Take it inside. Throw it just to see, because you'll be surprised. Sometimes some of these bowling balls will look way better than what you would think going into them. So that's all I got for you today. Just kind of wanted to give you a rundown on those 2 games. But I'm going to leave you with that, and then tomorrow, or maybe even later today, I don't know. It depends on how much time I have. But we'll go through games 3 and 4 and post them up so you guys can see that as well. And we'll kind of go make our way through and try to learn as much as we can. But until next time, guys, I'm out of here. We'll see you guys later. Take care.